what's going on Facebook and all those other good joints. It's me, Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of all this nonsense. And I'm going to try to do that tonight. Just a little bit. It's Sunday. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend and prepared for a wacky and crazy week moving forward. Let me double check, make sure all of my equipment is functioning and working properly. So those that are watching me on YouTube, please chime in and let me know that you can hear me. And over there on Facebook as well, let me know if y'all can hear me. If there's somebody on there, just go ahead and chat, type in something. Somebody say, hey fam, good morning. Got my notification. Say, what? That's crazy. It's to the point now where I'm more shocked when you get one. I'm like, you got a notification? That's crazy, man. Things are getting crazy these days, sending out notifications and everything. So I'm glad you did. And I hope others get it too, as well. So while we're waiting, people said they can hear me, so good. Please hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms so that just in case they try to unexist me, you'll know where to find me, okay? And also those that has been giving to the Super Chat, my Cash App, my PayPal, all of that good stuff. I appreciate everything that you do. You help me keep my head above water. Keeping my head above water. Y'all remember that? Temporary layoffs, good times, easy credit ripoffs, good times, shucking in and jiving, good times, hanging in a something, good times. I don't need to know the words. Ain't we lucky we got them? Yeah. Doom, doom. Good times. Yeah, loved it, man. Florida Evans always, James. Why, James? It ain't right. It ain't right, James. It's like, would you leave James alone? Dang on it. And when James died, dang, dang, dang. She tried to keep it together. Yeah, but she couldn't. Good times. Those were good movies. I mean, good shows, too, as well. So, y'all are helping me get through some good times. And I'm glad. Wait a minute. Where'd that phone go? I'm glad my phone just did that. That just let me know, Kev, turn off them notifications. Because once I get rolling, I don't want no interruptions. You dig? So that's exactly what we're about to do right now. We're about to get rolling. So before I do that, I gotta get loose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like a silverback, real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. It's kings in the building. Do your best and show some respect. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, guys, I ran across a clip that, I mean, I just had to laugh at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like people to understand that I'm not just, granted, it's obvious that I'm a conservative. So I have my biases. But when you see folks acting up, whether they are Democrat or Republican, you got to call some balls and strikes. You can't have cats out there representing your party and they doing things like what we're about to watch. But it's a great segment and lead in to the next clips, okay? So I guess up in Rhode Island, some city councilman decided to take a couple puffs of a crack pipe and the police rolled up on him. That man was completely 100% knocked out. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. You got to do better than this. So let's go ahead and see what was up with this guy. Uh-oh. Look at that. Shh, 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 shh. Don't wake him. Yeah. Imagine waking up to that. That man didn't even have the door closed. The door was wide open. He never made it either in or out the car. I don't know which one. He might have made it in, click it, or stop the car and trying to get out. Just open the door. But that right there was some serious crap napping. That was that crack nap. So that dude's head was bobbling back and forth, mouth open, choking on his own saliva. My man took a crack nap. So, that's not good. That's not a good look for us, man, for the home team. You can't be having crack naps, man. Now, I get it. Sometimes you're just that sleepy, rather. I've been there before. You ever been in like a serious meeting? When it hits you, man, when that monkey jump on your back, it ain't nothing you can do. You're sitting there struggling. One time I had my eyebrows up, but my eyes were still closed. I was swore up and down. I was wide awake. Nothing but my eyebrows up, like, I'm up. Then you open your eyes and realize you really weren't up. Looking at her, what? Did I miss something? Absolutely. You missed the whole meeting, Kev. So I'm a little bit, lenient when it comes down to that. But see, the problem with this guy right here is he got a crack pipe sitting on his lap. Let's hear what the officer has to say about this crack pipe. Shh, there, little buddy. Go to sleep, little crackhead. Go to sleep.
Song.
Here it is.
I'm just gonna pat you down.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, sir.
And put interlock your fingers. Interlock your fingers. Do you have any weapons on you?
No, not at all.
Just a crack pipe. Not at all.
Yeah.
All right.
Roads open, plastic.
You're gonna stop. Try not to.
It's not looking good for
Oh,
me.
no way, dude. Really?
Yes, yes.
Oh, see, now that's the worst, y'all. To whom much is given, much is required. As soon as he looked at the ID and saw that he was a city councilman, he's like, come on, man. No way, dude. No way. Yes, way. Yes, way. Well, let's see what happens in the way of this whole crack incident.
I was on my way back from court.
I was just about to.
Well, Rusty's gonna come check you out, man. I can't let you go. You were literally choking in your sleep. Somebody flagged me down about it.
Oh, I have sleep apnea. I'm sorry.
You hear that, man? Now, I got to give it to him. That was some quick thinking right there. My man, first of all, he's shaking the head like, no. He said, well, I mean, dude, people like thought you was choking in your sleep. You were literally choking. Oh, I got sleep apnea. Now, granted, if you ever had that ain't no joke. That's what they used to call the witch riding your back. You ever been there? It happens all the time when you're on your back, man. You sleep and you feel like, why am I wide awake, but I can't move? That's bad news, man. When I was in college one time, that monkey got on my back, that witch was on my back. And I literally thought that I was looking at my best friend, which when I woke up, he was rear. I saw him down there playing Nintendo. And I'm laying in the bed on my back, feeling like I'm getting sucked into the abyss. And I'm screaming like, Rob, wake me up. Wasn't saying nothing. I woke up mad at this dude, like, dude, you didn't hear me? He's like, man, you didn't say nothing, man. I was like, I was yelling at you, said, wake me up. Dude, I didn't hear a word. You didn't say nothing, Kev. That's a miserable feeling. But I got a gut feeling that wasn't what caused this right there. I got a gut feeling it was the crack pipe sitting on his lap. See, so now he's trying to sober up real quick. When them boys roll up on you, you'll get sober real quick. That's better than coffee. Caffeine ain't got nothing on the cops rolling up on you. So sure, though, he's sitting there like, Well, no. This is not what it looks like. I was about to throw this crack pipe in the trash because I found it on a playground somewhere. You can't have the kids getting hold of this.
And then you have a crack pipe in your hands, so it's like,
Wait, sorry.
Everybody carries a
listen,
crack pipe
I
around.
have a body camera. Obviously,
Yeah,
everything
obviously.
I have is recorded. You know that, and
He's in trouble.
what I've observed is on camera, so I can't pretend I didn't. So Rusty's gonna come here, and they're gonna check you out.
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a bad feeling, man. Yeah, it's a bad feeling when you get busted. Yeah, he's sitting there like, oh, Jesus, my career's done. This right here is going to hit the public. Now, I don't know what happened to the little cracky head, but I think they're asking for him to step down, which would be a shame because I hate when Republicans get caught up in some scandal. You never want to take away from the home team. We need as many Republicans as we can get right about now. But we can't have them running around on crack either. We don't want to come across as, hypocrites when we always talking about Hunter, even though Hunter's not in Congress or anything like that or in the, politics, but he is the son of Joe Biden. So what's good for one should be good for the other, but, let him handle it the way they're going to handle it up there. But he needs to really get himself together. You can't be getting caught sleeping in the parking lot with a crack pipe in your lap. That's hard to explain. Okay. That's right. This pipe I carried around to remind me of what not to do. That's why. It's a reminder, officer. I once was on that stuff. It's horrible. It's horrible to destroy your life. So I keep this as a reminder. Why is it still warm, huh? Well, it was in my car. Smells like crack in it. Yeah, that's leftover crack from 1995. Yeah, okay. Here we go.
As far as I know, there's no drugs anywhere, so I can't, so there's not a criminal investigation. There's more a health or well-being check type thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I obviously have to document it,
Yeah, he's in trouble.
They can have that back.
I wonder if it's too late to take off running across the parking lot. Full sprint, tire blowing in the wind the whole way. So that's right about now. He's like, man, I should have just took off when the cat like tapped me. I jump up immediately. Oh, sure, no problem. Let me get my ID. Take off running because he's in trouble.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There will be no arrest.
What?
There will be no arrest.
No. Are there any drugs in the car or anything like that?
No, nothing.
All right.
You see what he was concerned about? There'd be no arrest. Now, I don't know if it was anybody else, they would have been okay with just saying, all right, this is just a medical issue. I want to check you out. I got a feeling most folks, if you get caught sleeping, taking a crack nap with a pipe in your lap, most likely you're going to get taken away to jail somehow. So let me see. He was taking a crack nap with a pipe in the lap. A lot of apps in there. Okay, crack, nap, pipe in the lap. Okay, so let's see where this goes and if he gets off. He's concerned. Look at the body language.
How long have you had this problem, man?
It was a relapse.
Relax.
Been clean 13 years.
Relapse on crack, taking a crack nap with a pipe in his lap. Oh man, I could keep going all day. All right, so wait, here we go. Let me get serious. All right, I want to be mature and sensitive to this man's relapse, and let's see what led to his relapse.
Just went through a really, really bad divorce recently.
There it is. Yeah, man. Start tugging at them heartstrings. Now, if y'all could come up with some more words that end in app that could rhyme with crack. So let me see how many I got. Okay. I got a relapse. Okay. Taking a crack nap with a pipe in his lap. Ooh, I'm dropping it like it's hot, man. Give me another one. Anybody? Okay, here we go. I'll be reading the notes. Whack. He's giving an excuse to whack based on that crack nap that he took. That crack nap. What just stop it. All right, let's get there. Let me get serious.
Okay. Do you know if any of that was laced with fentanyl or anything? Because you were out, and like looked like you were choking.
Really?
Yeah. That's why somebody literally sprayed.
My man said it wasn't laced with fentanyl because it looked like you were choking. You got to be in a full-blown REM sleep, man, with the rapid eye movement for you to be choking. Good grief, man. Yo, get back, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. Don't be giving me that. This crack that's in your lap ain't all that, okay? You was taking a crack nap. That's whack. You understand? You get that? Go on and on and on. The jokes write themselves. All right, here we go.
Printed and flagged you down because they thought you were having a heart attack or choking.
A heart attack or choking?
No, not that I know of.
Not that I know of. My man right there. Hey, gotta give it to him, man. Not that I know of. I'm pretty sure I'd have known if I was having a heart attack or dying. I guess I would have known.
I was just carrying on. Sorry.
What y'all gonna do? In
Sorry, can you sit over towards the front of your car, please?
Yeah, look, trying to keep it together with the walk.
If you're unsteady on your feet, just
Easy.
find maybe one of those curves or something.
Now, he's displaying a lot of crack habits right there. A lot of crack movements, man. That man right there. Yeah, I'm good. Walk right on over here. He had the Joe Biden walk going on, which we're going to be getting into creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe in a moment. Okay, after we finish with this guy that's on crack. All right, let's see. Here we go. Well, guys, unfortunate. It's unfortunate that man had to endure that. Hopefully, he gets himself together so he don't misrepresent the Republican Party. But now, guys, we got more of a sensitive, serious topic. Okay, we got somebody whose feelings is hurt, y'all. So let me see. They're requiring my services as a professional, sympathetic violinist who shows up to accommodate and appease folks who are sensitive and distraught. Now, I am a professional. I do charge $9,000 an hour. Just let you know. Let me warm up. Me. Let me see. What? Put me in the key of X flat. Me. There we go. That's the one I want. Me. Beautiful. I think I'm ready. All right. So this next person is a little sensitive, y'all. So we want to be very sensitive to his needs after watching this beautiful commercial right here from Donald Trump.
It's an invasion of America. Streets flooded with poison, killing millions.
Darn right.
Enemies and tyrants on opposite sides of the globe laugh at us. Wars threaten us. The threat of nuclear annihilation, once forgotten, is now real again. America's weakness has become their strength. The global elitists who send your kids to war, who tell you a woman is a man and a man is a woman.
Several days later.
Friends, less fun video today than I would have hoped. I found out that Donald Trump used me and my gorgeous friend Dylan in his most recent advertisement.
I don't see what the problem is.
And I saw it.
I don't see what the problem. That man right there, what president does stuff like that?
And I kind of fell apart.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost
And I didn't
forgot.
want to tell you that because I didn't want to look weak. And it's like, oh my God, that's so stupid. I cry on the internet all the time. Like, why is today different? Because it is different.
Wait.
It's personal.
I got to sing with it too. Hold on. There we go. I think that's in the key of snot sucking. There we go. All right, now. This man right here is sad because Trump used his image. Whoa, I was off key there. Image. Wait, is that okay? Image in a video, but I don't care. Thank you. I'll be playing here all week long. Okay, for this man. Oh yeah. So now he's sensitive because Donald Trump used his image in a video. So let's just see if we can get a tissue for his issue.
And it's also different because I fear for the safety of our community. And I didn't want to share this either, but I think it's important. I felt shame about
Okay,
it.
see. Now this is where the drama gets so out of control. I felt the shame, danger for our community, stuff like that. So you're telling me that commercial right there is going to make what? All conservatives just say, let's go outside, start up the pickups, get our squirrely guns together, and go hunting down transgenders. They always use this crap. Man up or gender neutral up or whatever it is that you guys do, okay? Don't be up here sitting up the duck line. I saw my picture on Donald Trump's commercial and I felt like I failed y'all. You didn't fail. No, look, they put conservatives' pictures in their ads all the time. They rip Trump constantly. You're a public figure, man. You and your buddy who you was in the picture with, y'all do the TikTok thing. You put yourself out there. Now all of a sudden it's woe is me. Okay. Now you also have to understand these folks started this mess. They drew first blood. Nothing is over. They drew first blood. Nobody was worried about the transgender community and all that until they start telling us that, listen, we can compete against women. Your kids could go into other bathrooms of this opposite gender, sex, and all of that stuff. When they start doing that, and let's get it in the kids' heads, that's when we said, we got a problem with this. If this dude and his buddy would have minded their own business and it wouldn't become a movement, nobody would care. If they weren't out there, witnessing, basically they're out there trying to spread the gospel of transgenderism. Nobody wants to hear it. So you're at that point. You became the activist, buddy. You put yourself out there. So let's see if I got a big enough tissue for this issue.
Being trans, and I felt shame about being public about my transness and being, bubbly and fun and loving life. And I thought, oh, maybe if I were just different, then maybe I wouldn't have failed my community.
So how can you be bubbly and enjoying life when you're this fragile? I mean, nothing can really enjoy itself when it feels unstable, easy to be shaken. I remember I had this old Cocker Spaniel when I got him at first, and then with Shakespeare. When I first got Shakespeare, I had a little carrying, cage for him. And I put him in that thing one time, and I went to walking, and Shakespeare was sliding back and forth in that thing. And I looked in that cage, and that man looked concerned. He had all four legs spread it out, down low, and his eyes was big. And he was like, oh, shoot, wait a minute. I don't feel, wait a minute. Whoa, what's going on? Nobody feels comfortable when you're not stable. When you feel like I'm not on solid ground, man. If something like your video, your picture shows up in a video and you go to pieces like this, how can you be bubbly and happy? That means somebody is in control of your happiness. Somebody can simply say something, show a video of you, or disagree with you. And all of a sudden now, oh my God, the world is end. I've failed everybody. I'm ashamed of myself and I'm questioned in life. That's the problem with this right here. That's where, if you're being honest, the fact that these people have this misinterpretation of what they are lets you know they're fragile here. If you can't stop and recognize that I'm a man and I'm a woman and I'm happy to be a woman and I'm going to do the best with it. Now, I'll even go one step further. If you say I'm a woman or I'm a man, but I don't want to be one, instead of saying I'm just going to will myself to become what I'm not, just be honest. Say, man, I want to live my life like this. And I'll say, your choice. But when you start saying, let's go ahead and start telling folks that this myth, this truth that only lies in my head and evil Democrat and other evil people's heads, this truth that lies in my head is the truth, period. That's when the buck stops. That's when you come under scrutiny, okay? When you're trying to push that fantasy out to the public. You don't think nobody gonna push back on that? We got at least 6,000 years of proven data of what a man and a woman is, and you think you're gonna change this in the last 3 years? You're gonna unravel all that, and all of a sudden, everybody's gonna be like, well, that sounds like it makes sense, even though up until now it didn't. But yeah, these clever people right here discovered something we all missed somehow. So now he's gentle, and he's talking about how fragile he is, and he was a bubbly, but Donald Trump commercial and gentilized him even more.
In this way. And I know in my heart that that's not true.
I need to see tears.
And I know that if it wasn't me, it could have easily been somebody else. And my individual personality is not representative of all trans people. I am not representative of all trans people. I'm, one. No.
Okay. Then. All right. Somebody go get him some of these. Okay, he needs these right there. There we go. Because when you up there going, and I thought, like, oh, I wasn't gonna, and ain't no tears rolling down. I'm going, where's the tears? I need the waterworks on, man. I don't want you sounding like you crying, but I ain't seeing no tears. And you can't go, when you crying, you don't go in and out of crying like that. You don't be talking about something. Okay, and then I just thought that I really needed it. No, you know how it is when you cry and it gets out of control. All it takes is that first. Once that happens, it's over. Yeah, you go straight baby mode. This guy right here going in and out. But no tears rolling down the face. I think it's an action job. Action.
Non-binary person trying to do their fucking best. And
there it is.
I know that they want me.
You see that? He's vocally crying. And I am. What is that? I don't want you to sound like you're crying. I need to see you crying. Jeez, oh man. And so, I was thinking the other day.
People like me, people like you, if you're trans, to feel shame about our transness. That is a goal they want to eradicate us. And if they make examples of people like me and my gorgeous friend Dylan, then they are one step closer to that.
Now, if you just started the video right here, would you think this man was crying? He seems cheerful and happy, bubbly, and like my friend, so-and-so, she's very pretty, she's very, but wait a minute.
Eradication, and the thing I feel more than shame or embarrassment or that I failed the community, because I know those things aren't true. The thing that I feel is this intense passion in my...
Imposter! That man, like my beautiful friend so-and-so, and she's this, and true passion. What? I need more tears? No tears? So people, they normally don't cry without tears? Oh. Well, could you say something that might make me feel all sad on the inside? There's only two genders? Yeah. There it is. That'll bust him up on the inside.
God, that says this work is not over and we have work to do. Okay, and my God, do we have to do it? I mean, like, above all else, this is...
And notice something else that's going back and forth. The bass and the treble. My God. I mean, this is... And then, you know what? I felt that. See? Don't know if you want to be a pancake or a waffle. That'll do it to you, man. So my man's all up in the nostrils for about 2 or 3 seconds. Then he goes right down into the baritone. And then, you know what, my friend, he said... And the work is not finished here. You know that, right? We have to continue our... Jeez, oh man, pick one.
We have to love each other harder. I mean, this presidential campaign is going to be I'm just predicting it's going to be horrible. Not for only for James personally, maybe for me personally, who the fuck knows, but for trans people. And we are going to have to hold each other in community tighter than ever. And my only goal
Here it is.
To leave this earth knowing that, like, I loved trans people in my community as hard as I could.
See, I hate to laugh, man, but when it comes across so scripted and so fake, it's hard not to, man. I mean, I like I said, I don't hate this young man. I don't hate nobody. But I do know a good acting job when I see one. My man went from, hey, who knows how these things are going to be, the new next election. And I just can't, all of a sudden, the nostrils kicked in. I don't understand. Is he going to speak with your nostrils or are you going to speak with the bass? One of the two.
And I did everything I could have to further our acceptance, to further trans equality, that I used every possible.
Trans acceptance, trans equality, what is that, man? How about you just live your life? Mind your own business, stay out of other people's business, leave kids alone, and you'll be fine. Stay out of women's locker rooms and off the playing fields and sports, and you'll be fine. Nobody's out there chasing down folks in the trans community. This is what kills me, man. This is their go-to. It is always somebody's hunting us down, and I'm saying, I mean, if you got some statistics out there that I don't know about, let me know. Because most of the time, when somebody gets iced, it's probably because it's somebody in their own community that did it. Most likely, the icing ain't outsourced. That's like, young black men getting killed all the time in their hood. You don't outsource those killings. You don't see a whole bunch of white dudes from rural areas jumping in their pickups to go down to the inner city of Chicago to shoot up some black kids. Usually, it's because black kids are shooting black kids, and vice versa. Same thing with the white community. Same thing with the trans community. These are crimes of familiarity. So just to say you're being hunted and violence against the trans community, who's doing the violence, man? But when you have developed a new idea and theory that violence can just be people disagreeing with you, then of course, that means if you don't like my lifestyle, if you disagree with my activism, with my ideology, then that's violence against me. And not only is it violence, but you're transphobic. And I'm saying, that's an irrational fear? I don't have an irrational fear, people. If I met this man on the street, you think I would go, oh my God, I'm afraid, scared to death, get him away from me. No, I'd walk right past him. That's what would happen. Walk right past him. If you say hello, I go, how do you do? And keep it moving. Nobody's afraid and nobody's hunting these people. But yet, that's what they want you to believe. And sad to say this, but folks on that level, the ground level, the useful idiots, some of them psychologically internalizes this and believes this. They believe it. Now, I want you to look at this man out in public right there. He has TikTok videos, got a decent following, I'm assuming. Nobody's chasing him down. That's like when I hear the black folks talking about we're being hunted every day. And I'm looking in the background while you're talking, and I don't see no people on horses or sheets and gunfire around you. No, none of that. How are you out in public shooting videos? How are you growing a social media following and you haven't had 20 or 30 attempts on you, huh? That guy right there, no people chasing him, no yeah in the background, nothing. It's just that guy standing out in public making a video while he's crying, going in and out of crying. So anyway, man, like I was saying the other day, man, that's what drunk people do. See, but the difference is they got an excuse. I'm drunk. You ever seen somebody drunk? They got 15 different emotions, man. I'm sick of this mess, man. He got. But man, for real though, man. You my boy though, man. I love you, man. Come here, man. You be sitting there like, you all over the spectrum, brother. That alky got you all over. You're mad, then crying the next minute. Unbelievable. That's how he seems right now. But yet he's sober.
Opportunity to say I love trans people and we are beautiful and we are wonderful and we are part of the fabric of society that makes life worth living, because my life is worth living. It does not.
Then live it. Then live it, man. That's all I'm saying. Just live it. Leave folk alone and live your life. I don't go trying to talk to the trans community about not thinking that you're transgender. Live your life. That's it. You'll do well if you mind your own business. And that's pretty much across the board.
I feel like it in this moment when the former president of the United States is using my videos against my will as an ad campaign to anti-trans stuff.
To anti-trans stuff. I wonder what these people think that folks that disagree with this have a problem with. Do they really think we have a problem with them? I mean, we could care less. They're not a threat to the United States. It's the idea. It is the powerful people who are pushing this idea. They're the bigger threat than these folks right here. If they didn't empower and embolden these people and encourage these people and declare these people to be victims in a dang on protected class, we would walk by these folks and wouldn't have a problem. We see the bigger agenda. Unfortunately, you're a useful idiot of that. That's what this man don't realize. So all of those people on the ground level who think that we're attacking and coming after them, that's being pumped into their heads, just like they pumping it into the heads of black folks that white nationalism is the greatest threat to the homeland. Just like they pumping it into heads of bubblehead Americans that we have to protect Ukraine with everything in us. Spend as much money as necessary. I don't care how long it takes. These are things that they do to these people to manipulate them and get them on board with a bigger agenda. So on their own, these folks right here would have never been bold enough to start trying to infiltrate schools. But then when you see politicians backing you up and saying, yeah, they should be able to, that's when they get emboldened. And then those politicians are saying these folks are always victims. They're always being attacked. And anybody who disagrees with them are anti and are phobic and all of this stuff. That's where you get stuff like this. This is the stuff that produces this fragile man right here on TV talking about, and then I was, when I was, sometimes I don't feel like I'm worth it. And then, so anyway, man, I was thinking that, right up into the nostrils.
But I know that my life is worth living, and I know that every trans person is worth living too. And I want you to know that no matter how hard they attack us.
What do you think? This is delusion. If I was a psychiatrist or a psychologist, this would be amazing. I'd be sitting there like, this is a case study. Fascinating. Wow. So let me see. We have a subject here who really thinks that folks are attacking them and don't want them to exist. Fascinating. Taking notes. So this man just had the nerve to say they don't want us to live. We're here to exist. Nobody's trying to make you disappear, man. What are you doing? This is what kills me, man. How could you live your life? Now, here's the irony of this. The way that they talk. This man just said, I'm bubbly, I'm cheerful. If you listen to the danger that he's interpreting in his head, how could you? Same thing with racism. How could Kev be so casual, so cavalier, so happy-go-lucky, so fun, joking, so careless, if I knew that white folks were out hunting me all the time? I would be the most nervous man in the world. I'd be doing my show looking out the window the whole time like, all right, y'all, so did y'all see the latest? Hold on for a second. Give me a second. Hey, man, what you want, man? Get away from keep moving. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. It was a white dude outside. I don't know. You know how it is. That's how I would be living my life. All of us would be walking around like that. These folks go all over the place. They really are protected class, unfortunately, at this point. And he's talking about they don't want us to exist and they want to make us. Nobody cares. This is arrogance. This right here is, unfortunately, these people being narcissistic, thinking that it's always about them, thinking that everybody's looking at them and they hate them. And I'm going, you're not important. What are you talking about? I don't even have an ego like that. I mean, when I'm walking around, I'll be thinking, oh, man, I bet you all these white people are looking at me like, look at that black guy. He thinks he's better than us. He took our... I'm going, I don't care what you think, what you do. I'm just going to do what I do, man. You know, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. As long as you want to do your thing with my thing, then we okay. You okay? Go on now. Stop all that whining and snotting on camera.
I will always love us twice as hard, and I'm not the only one. So, that's my not fun video. Hug your trans family tighter today. I just got off the phone with Jordan. They helped me. They made me look into the sun and breathe happy thoughts.
Here it is. There it is again.
So I love you.
It's customary.
He went out of this. They made me. So I love you. And scene. So there you have it, guys. That man's all busted up on the inside because of President Trump showing his clip. Now, that was free advertisement. You know, how about you just flip that? Hey, did you see me in the Trump ad lately? Huh? That was hot, wasn't it? Yeah. Go ahead and click on my TikTok video. How about you flip it? Use it like we do. All of the demonization that we on the right suffer, we usually use it. Take what they give and flip it. They sit back, call us deplorables. Great. Let's get some shirts made. Deplorables. What? Oh, MAGA. Okay, let's get that. Wait. So now we're ultra MAGA? That's even better. Let's get some ultra MAGA shirts made. Super ultra. Can we go even higher than that? So now, let's get to creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe, who also falls into the category of an evil, corrupt, stinking, funky, dirty, hypocritical, deceptive, lying, two-faced, backstabbing, no good, low down, funky, creepy, perverted, nasty, snagger-tooth, dirty, draws wearing, can't walk, can't talk, can't do nothing but fall on your face. Every word that come out of your mouth is a lie with a snake's tongue. You big old bag of dumpster juice, you Joe Biden. Let's get on that dude for a second and show just how corrupt and evil he really is. I put in my title, man, this got to be one of the most evil men in the world. Man, how can you be this senile, but yet this eval? So, remember that speech last week he gave to the cadets? We better go ahead and dive a little deeper into it because we all know about the famous fall. We know about the fall. But let's see about the content that he was actually dropping out there. So let's check it out.
Ready for commencement speakers to deliver a message affirming the graduates' potential and their value to society and so on. Presumably, that was the kind of speech cadets were expecting to hear yesterday before they got on with their lives. But Joe Biden delivered a very different kind of speech. It was so ahistorical, so angry and so bizarre that it's not crazy to think that Joe Biden nosedived onto the floor on purpose so that no one would ever talk about what he actually said. Standing at the podium in front of thousands of people, cadets, their families, professors, officers, Joe Biden explained that white people make the Air Force weaker.
Here we go. I knew it. That man ain't never made a speech this positive because that ain't the Democrat style. See, that's not their style. They come out with that false positive speech. All right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring back serenity to the country and civility and unity and stuff because we're fighting against these white nationalist, racist, xenophobic, homophobic. That's what they do. It's let me set up the audience by starting off trying to pretend that I'm positive and I'm trying to unite the country and then take a turn for the worse by dividing the country. So I knew that this speech, if this man was bold enough to get up there on prime time with the devil background, hands up talking about some ultra mega, these extremists. If that man was willing to do that, surely he's not going to get up there to these cadets and just say, you know what, love your country, be patriotic, defend the country. I thank you for your service, blah, blah, blah. You know what he got to do? Panderation. Y'all know it. Pander man. So here come Panda Man, y'all.
Biden explained that what makes the military strong is not its battle readiness, its skill, its training, but rather its increasing lack of white people and men. That is, of course, what leftists like Biden always mean when they tout diversity, and that's the message that Biden decided to send at his commencement. And then, having delivered that message to all white cadets in attendance, essentially F you was the message, the President of the United States flew headlong into the ground.
Hilarious. He fell and landed like a glove. That man hit that stage face first. And after this clip, we're going to find out potentially why he did a face plant. Okay. Why he did that nosedive. Because don't run, walk. He picked out something that I didn't catch the first time. So now let's hear this wonderful uniting speech that he gave our cadets. And you wonder why it's hard to recruit. But yeah, let's see what he had to say to them.
Watch.
Your class
looking evil.
is one of the most diverse classes in the history of this academy or any academy to graduate. That's why we're strong.
Look at that. Why is he so angry all the time? So y'all see them slits in his face for us so tight. Your class. Dang on it. Open them, Joe. Good googly moo. So here he is up there talking about your class as he screams to him. Talking about diversity and all of that good stuff. Now, to me, I'd be a little concerned. I'd be scared. I'd be like, well, he's giving me mixed emotions. He's trying to encourage me by yelling at me.
That's why we're who we are.
That's why.
That's why we'll never give up. That's why.
A few moments later.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Down goes Joe.
That's why we're strong, he says, before collapsing to the ground. Some of the cadets who had just been forced to listen to Joe Biden's speech seemed like they didn't want anything to do with the whole situation. Here's how one female cadet responded. Watch this.
Listen. Who is she? Oh my God, somebody find her. I want to bring her on the show. All right, exactly what was going through your head when you saw creepy faceplant? Did he happen to break wind when he landed? No? It looked like his butt was up and he farted, perhaps. Oh my goodness, I pulled it again. So now, here we go. The girl ran away from him like, oh God. You know, disgusting. And he is. Look at him all standing up. Is he alive?
Nope. Just walks slowly away. It's kind of amusing, but of course it's also a sad situation. Everyone recognizes this, and on top of that, it's a major problem for the entire country because Joe Biden is the president and he's running for re-election. If he somehow wins the election, Joe Biden will be 82 years old at the start of the next term, and we all know that. It's not breaking news that the president of the United States is unfit to serve. You know, CNN made a big deal over that one time Trump tripped, but they're covering for Joe Biden, for example, that sort of thing, and that's all.
You see that? Matt's keeping it real. Yes, this is an open secret, I guess, that Joe Biden is not fit. We all know it. Some people are in denial. Then some people are just in denial, meaning they're lying. They know this man is unfit. And I'm just going to get out there and say he's fine. So the bigger problem, though, is that every American should be outraged at what we saw. Every American should be concerned. But you got folks who will overlook that and make excuses. But yet you got a media who's designed to make them do that.
That's all true. But the real question is, why is this happening? I mean, why is anyone still tolerating this? Why would anyone, even Democrats, who presumably want to field an electable candidate in 2024, make excuses for Joe Biden's obvious inability to serve as the president of the United States? For some reason, that's what they're doing. Within an hour or two of Joe Biden's fall, NBC trotted out their fake historian, Michael Beschloss.
What did he say?
And this is the guy who warned that your children would be murdered in the streets if Democrats lost the House in midterms last year.
It's always that.
That didn't quite materialize, but the corporate media tells you that Beschloss is still someone that you're supposed to take seriously and trust. And yesterday, he wanted you to know that actually it's normal for presidents to fall over. It happens all the time. He cited two examples. Jimmy Carter was participating in a race when he tripped, and Gerald Ford once fell down the stairs of Air Force One.
Yeah, now if you just stop there, you probably would fall for that lie, for that gaslighting. Democrats do it all the time. When they get busted doing something, now it becomes normalized. When Joe Biden got busted with all of those dang on top secret files and stuff all over the place, spread all over the place in this, garage with the dang on, Corvette and all that stuff. Don't worry about it, man. This is normal for presidents to take things, except Trump. Except Trump. Nothing is normal with him, okay? But with Joe, I mean, these are things that happens, and you take stuff and you keep it for 30 years. And, all of a sudden, when you're trying to prosecute Trump for the same thing, now all of a sudden you discover it and decide to willfully give it back. But you didn't give it back before y'all were trying to prosecute Trump. You didn't know they were there. You just recognized them, Joe. That's what I want to know. It's unreal, man, what these folks try to pull over our eyes.
Doubters and haters might object and point out that neither of those men fell face first while trying to walk across a flat surface.
Yeah, that's one tidbit of information that reporter left out. Okay, these men were doing stuff that you could say, okay, I could see you might have, tripped or fell doing that. But Joe?
And neither man had difficulty speaking coherent English during their terms.
Yeah, see, it's called context clues. It's called putting all of the evidence together to come to a conclusion. So it's not just one of those things that, the man tripped. But when you get up there and you say, international depression, isolating, punish China, that's a problem. Now I'm making some connections. I'm going, okay, you just don't know what you said, and yet you're falling multiple times, and you're not tripping over stuff. Like when he just pointed and said, black, it's black. He tripped over black, y'all. That's what he did. See, so that reporter is trying to gaslight people. He's trying to make it seem like we're judging Joe way more harshly than others. Well, there's reasons why.
By the way, if you're keeping track at home, that's a significant problem for Joe Biden that appears to be getting worse. Here he was just a couple of weeks ago attempting to use words to convey some kind of idea.
If they have to pay out $159 billion less for prescription drugs, then it reduces the deficit.
What was that? Did y'all see that, man? $150 billion less. Now that's unreal. And yet you want me to overlook that and the trip and say that's normal.
At the risk of impugning Michael Besklaus's impeccable credentials as a prudential historian,
please do.
When someone trips during a foot race, but they're otherwise acting and speaking normally, it's not a big deal. But when somebody routinely has to give up on sentences, just like give up in despair in the middle of a sentence and look at his audience, like in the clip you just saw, that's alarming. Then that same person falls over while walking a couple of feet. You know?
Not just a couple of feet, multiple times. See, that right there, I could make a full-blown career out of just covering Joe's gaffes. All my videos could consist of just covering his gaffes, you know, and slide in a fall or a trip here or there too. So we're talking about a plethora of gaffes and a decent amount of falls, probably around 10. You merge those together, you got some problems. See, so, but it's not just Joe. He's concerned about what I was concerned about the other day when I did my live show about the quality of these Democrat politicians that they're shoving out there. And yet it seems that their voters don't even see it. Like they are zombified, man.
You know, when that happens, you're not crazy for wondering if maybe this guy shouldn't be president. For the record, this is Joe Biden's second fall in a year. You might remember this incident while Biden was cycling in Delaware.
Show me the other stuff. One of my favorites. It's a classic. Oh, he gave me the extended remix one of this one, y'all. Y'all ready for extended remix? You got the LP version. Oh, down goes Joe again. Help him up. Help him up. Get him up. Reverse angle. What? Black. So wait, right. I'm good. Safe. Don't clap for that. Here we go. Check it out.
Hey, Mr. President. Oh, I'm good. Yeah. Keep up the good work. I keep on taking these things off. I got my split card.
Mr. President, made up your mind on China tariffs, Mr. President.
I gotta go.
Ready to go.
I need some Neosporin on my knees.
Guys. See you.
Now, Michael.
Good old Joe. Back up on that tricycle. Man, I'd be like, just a minute, Mr. President. Bring in the training wheels, please. All right, you're good. Let's go. So now that man got back on that bicycle. Gap around that corner probably is all right. Stop. Get him off. Come on. Get in the car. All right, we got the photo shoot, okay? And it was a piss poor one at that. Can't believe he stuck this man on a bike. But anyway, there you have it. That right there is supposed to be normal. I mean, I had bikes like that where your pedals, you put your feet in the pedals. But, you know, hopefully, you know, you're coming to a stop. So as you're coming to the stop, how about you take your feet out of those and put them on the ground, okay? Have the feet ready so when the bike stops, your feet's already on the ground, Joe. You don't wait till you stop and have your feet on the pedals. But hey, that's normal people's behavior that does what I suggested we do. But Joe, he's not normal. See, and that's the problem.
Well, Besklaus and his colleagues at NBC understand that their job is to distract you from what you can see is clearly true. We can go on, but the point is not to humiliate a couple of soulless political operatives. Bigger point, and not that there's anything wrong with humiliating them, the bigger point, and the one that's truly frightening, even if it's never mentioned, is that this is how millions of Americans think. They truly see no problem, apparently, with electing a frail and incompetent candidate like Joe Biden. That's how John Fetterman was elected senator in Pennsylvania.
Now, what he's saying, it's true. That's scary. See? You see where I'm going with this, guys? We're living in a day and age where folks will see stuff like this and say, that's Joe being Joe. I'm going to go right back out and vote for that man. We're living in a day where folks like John Fetterman somehow gets put in office and the people just walk around like this is normal. And that's why I feel like sometimes we're on crazy land. We're taking crazy pills. I'm like, am I the only one that's seen this? You almost feel like the whole world is trying to gaslight you. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't see that man got up there and said, good morning, good evening, or something like that. Y'all didn't see that? Y'all didn't see this man try to put together a sentence and it was just random words? Cat, run, chicken, hamburger sandwich, up, down, never, ever. Those are just words. You didn't see that? And now that man's up there in Congress. Y'all didn't hear Joe throughout his whole campaign out of his basement, gaffe after gaffe, and you guys are saying that he's the president. This is like a parody, a real live parody. I'm saying, man, I couldn't have written this better myself, but it would have been a joke. It would have been a comedy skit. This is unreal, man.
The one reporter who tried to cover the extent of Fetterman's mental decline was dogpiled by the rest of the media. Fetterman's wife said she should be fired. Then, when Fetterman was shamed into debating his opponent, he began by saying, good night, everybody, if you remember. He proceeded to ignore a question asking him to explain his brand new position on fracking, which just happens to be the single most important economic issue in the state, and yet he won.
And that's the problem. The man couldn't even address these. It's almost like, and I'll be honest with you, I think some shenanigans might have went on, but nonetheless, let's say it didn't. You're telling me this man who openly was against fracking, who couldn't talk, having trouble thinking, and yet folks voted against their own self-interest? This is just like Chicago. I saw a video of them up there like, I voted for you, Brandon. I voted for you. I'm like, that's the problem. You didn't see video clips of this man talking about how he approaches crime and his views of... Y'all didn't see that? But now all of a sudden, it shows up and it impacts your life, and then you're up here complaining. So it's like people are sadistic or masochistic. They want pain. They're like, you know what? Abuse me. I'm not okay in a good relationship. So what I'm going to do is go out and vote for the guy who can't talk, can barely function, and are going to shut down my jobs. Americans, man, I don't know what happened. They pulled a fast one on society over time where I'm looking at them and I'm going, you are about to shoot yourself right in the foot. I know. Bang. And you did it. Can't believe it. I tried to tell you. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but you know what, Kev? I don't believe you because you voted for a racist white nationalist.
How? Along the same lines, how is Dianne Feinstein still representing California in the Senate? Her aides are running the office. They have been for a while. It's not much of a secret. That's why Feinstein learned from the media that she wasn't running in 2024. She learned from that. Her aides put out a statement without even telling her. Both Feinstein and Fetterman are elected representatives who, through no personal fault of their own, really, are incapable of representing anyone. In Fetterman's case, he's brain damaged. In Feinstein's case, she's 89 years old and senile, and yet they're in office. And there are many more examples like this. How does that make sense? And what does it tell us about the state of the country?
Thank you. That's the punchline right there. The state of the country is in shambles for the simple fact I can't rely on common sense anymore. I used to say, you know what, at the end of the day, most Americans have common sense. But they've proven me wrong. Over these last several years, I'm going, man, I thought I could rely on at least some common sense kicking in. At least some self-preservation. Some self-preservation. And people just threw all that mess out the window. But they threw it out during the time where they didn't realize the real life consequences of it. Now, all of a sudden, all of this stuff come crashing in. Now, the question is going to become, you got all of these issues in America that are contributed to the party that you voted for. We got distribution issues. We got wars overseas. We got high gas prices, high inflation. You got high crime. You got all of these issues. Hopefully, you'll understand that during peaceful, better times, when they lied to me and told me those peaceful, better times were really the hard times. Hopefully you're able to make a compare and contrast and say, no. Those were great times compared to now. If you run it back after being able to observe all of this damage that they've caused the last 3.5 years, you're 100% useless mentally. I got to just straight up say, dude, your common sense have checked out 100% if you run it back. If you let them talk you into going and voting for that guy who we just watched fall all over his face and couldn't put together a sentence, your common sense is done. Done.
For those of us who have kids and who care about the future of the United States in the long term, these are not trivial questions. At some point, someone should think about the answers.
It turns out that Biden tripped over a sandbag that was holding down one of his teleprompters. Because of course he did. But there's a little more to what happened.
More?
Look at his arm. See how it's bent? Well, Biden does this when he's about to do one of those 1-second jogs that he's famous for. Now, let's watch the clip.
I just caught that. 1-second jobs. So now, Don't Walk, Run is about to help us show just how corrupt and dishonest Creepy Sleepy is, which he always does. That's why I like his clips. Joe does do that. That little 1-second trot right there. Yeah. I didn't catch this, and I'm mad at myself. That man was about to go into a trot when he had that encounter with that violent, aggressive sandbag.
Of Biden at the graduation ceremony.
Here it comes. You see the arms? He had them ready.
Pro tip, Joe. Walk, don't run.
Almost every week.
He had him ready, man. I'm gonna give him 1 second of Joe in motion and trip right over that bag. I guess the sandbag. It's black. It was black too, y'all. Y'all see that? Black. So maybe Joe don't see, colors. I only see it black and white. And it's black. Anyway, now here's the media trying to cover Joe Motion. Somebody said Joe Motion. Good one. Zing, zinger. Joe Motion. All right, so now here's the media, y'all, because they've taken a deep dive into what could have caused the stumble, or should I say faceplant, by Creepy Sleepy.
Recent president has taken a tumble in public at some point. One of the downsides, Nora, of being followed by cameras everywhere they go.
Oh. There are some questions this morning about President Trump's health. And it's because of this video of the president where you see him walking very haltingly.
Yeah, he's half dead.
One leg at a time. It starts happening here.
Rickets.
Well, falls are really common, and they're especially common in the elderly. It's thought that about 1 out of every 4 people over the age of 65.
Oh, cleanup crew. So wait a minute. You hear the difference between how they were looking at Trump? I'm concerned he's taking baby steps. Maybe his equilibrium is off. He might suffer from, some type of a fluid filling in his brain and throws off his balance. His ears could be congested and all of that stuff. And yet, it's just normal for old people to fall. Well, then you shouldn't be that old and president if you can't walk without falling. This ain't no one and done. If Joe's falling that rapid, he's on the other side of old. Okay. So here this guy is, it's common. It's common.
Will fall this year, so it's super common.
But when Donald Trump doesn't fall, it could be because of brain damage.
There's a lot of clues in there, but no conclusions. Is it balance problems? Is there some weakness there? Is there numbness in the feet? Perhaps a type of neuropathy? Is it just a slippery ramp, as the president said, or slippery shoes? Don't know.
Don't know. Man, do they even see themselves? So let's see. Trump didn't fall, but could be some brain damage. It could be, he could be suffering from all kind of Ebola. I'm pretty sure the Black Plague does that. Then there's, of course, kidney, liver disease, lung, heart disease. I mean, there's all type of things you don't know. Or it simply could be that the ramp was slippery, like he said. So you throw out all that stuff, and then you end with it could be the ramp is slippery. But I'm going to drop about 18 other possibilities in your head before I get to what Trump actually said was the cause of that. But yet, going back to Biden, he fell completely down, but that's normal. Most folks do that.
But when Biden falls, again, nothing to see here. It's normal.
His communications director said he's fine. Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, said he's totally fine, smiled at reporters as he was boarding Air Force One. Everything seems to be totally fine.
Just repeat the line exactly the way they told you, CNN.
Yep. Arrest that sandbag. Get it. Made Creepy look stupid. So CNN comes out and they straight says, let's go ahead and tell everybody what Karine Jean told us to. Black Gay Drop. Yeah, don't worry. He's fine. No questions. No, we got problems with his health? Should we be concerned? Nothing?
Questions are for real journalists. Anyway, enough about Joe Biden being the clumsiest and oldest resident of the White House in American history. Let's get to his actual address to the graduates.
It wasn't all push-ups cramming Prague Week, though to set the Guinness Book of Records, world records, most simultaneous push-ups, there had to be an enormous amount of push-ups.
Pro tip, Joe. If you make remarks in front of thousands of people, and everyone has to look on the internet to see what the you're talking about, you need to think about retirement. And according to the official White House transcript, Biden did in fact say Prague Week, which is a thing that doesn't seem to exist.
What? Joe's making up words again? Vocabulary? So y'all hear some vocabulary right there. Prague Week? What is that? I'm sitting there, is he prom week maybe? What is a Prague? Anybody know what a Prague Week is? Man. What a dirty, slimy old man. Here we go. Prague Week.
Next, Biden screws up the part of his address where he's supposed to say, we are seeing emerging technologies from AI and 3D printing that could change the character of conflict itself. But instead,
But we're seeing engaging technology, emerging technology, all AI, from AI and 3D printing.
And Democrats expect us to believe he's running the country. Yeah, sure.
So true. And that's the problem. You got a lot of mind dead people walking around. Joe Biden's the president. He's running that kind. Do you think all you got to do is observe the man for about 5 minutes? In any given clip of him, not just, you could just throw a dart at one clip since this man took office. Any clip you hit, you should be able to watch it, and within 5 minutes, you're going, that man's damaged. Let's take this one back. This one needs to go right back to manufacturer. It's broken. Unreal. And yet you think this dude's making big choices and calls and stuff. He can't even read the teleprompter.
I met in the Oval Office, in my office, with 8 leading scientists in the area of AI.
I need AI to remind me how many people were in my office.
Some are very worried that AI can actually overtake human thinking and planning. A few months ago, I called to speak to my national security advisor. He was out here, but I was told he was unavailable. Turns out, First Andrew Deaver had him out doing loops and barrel rolls on a glider. I asked if I could do that today, and the Secret Service said, no, we'll have to shoot it down.
So the Secret Service said, if you get on that glider, Joe, we'll shoot it down. Wait, what?
Exactly. Joe and his wacky stories. Now, no fact checks. No criticism of this guy getting up there, dropping tall tale after tall tale, fantasy after fantasy. This man conducts his speeches like an old dude in an elderly home, just telling crazy stories that never even happened. That never even happened. So you're telling me Secret Service said, well, Mr. President, we can't let that happen. If you go up in that glider, we'd have to shoot it down. For what? You mean without me in it? No, with you in it. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, he's talking about the glider again. Yeah, I told him we'd shoot him down. That's the only way we can deter him. Yeah, he doesn't know better. Well, I mean, what else you suggest I say? The man's he's consistent. He really wants to get in the glider. So I'll just let him go up there? You know that'd be catastrophic. Yes, that would be catastrophic. You're clear to fly. That's what should have happened. You're clear to fly, Mr. President. Could you also take Kamala Harris with you, please? And Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, put them all in there, in the glider. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Let Joe fly, though. I want Joe driving. Let's continue.
This year's graduating class is among the most diverse in academy history. They're graduating the highest percentage of women. By the way, I met with, who are those guys that fly over shortly? You heard of them, haven't you? 3 of them are women.
Oh my God, who cares?
Thank you. Now, that's why I say this dude is the worst. He's evil because he knows what he's doing. You can sit back and tell me, oh, Joe's, he's falling, he's declining mentally. Yeah, I agree. That's true. But he got just enough evil left in him to get up there and say stuff like that. Knowing that our military is already divided. Knowing that you're inserting poison into our military by focusing on this equality, equity crap and these identity politics elements. And you're just dividing folks. You're weakening our military. You're focused on that bull crap. And that takes away from us being ready for the real crap when the crap goes down. So now here's Joe talking about women and diversity. Stuff that means nothing in the military, man. We've always had, for at least as long as I've been alive, women, black, white, Puerto Rican, you name it. Men, all different races in the military. Now all of a sudden, this is an issue that you got to constantly talk about and remind everybody. And all that's doing is sending a subliminal message to all the white, straight men in the military that you're not our first priority, buddy. We're not going to mention you all as a unit, which is the whole goal for the military. Work as one. See each other as one cohesive unit. If I would have played football up in Miami and they would have been talking about what makes the team better is all the black guys that we have on the team now. It makes us more diverse and makes us stronger. Do you don't think that would subconsciously by default make the white guys think, well, what about us? We're blocking. A lot of them, a lot of black guys don't want to block. They all want to run the football and catch it. You know what I'm saying? They want the glory, let me catch it. I want to be quarterback, But all them guys out there on the team, we had maybe half and half. It was more white guys than black guys. But if the coach wanted to create a unit, he would tell us we're a team. He wouldn't come out there and say, thanks to all the black guys, we're better. We're stronger. Yeah, that's what makes us unbeatable. It's the black guys. Watch what happens. Next game, all the white guys, when you say, hut, would step aside and let the defense come in and smash the black guys who's running backs. So you don't do that stuff with your military. You don't do it with your citizens. But that's what he's doing. And that's why I say he's disgustingly evil.
And your class is one of the most diverse classes in the history of this academy or any academy to graduate. That's why we're strong.
That's why we're
strong.
No,
it's not your rigorous military training or your will to succeed that makes you strong. It's the color of your skin.
There you go. Now, you telling me Democrats aren't socialists? They're not using this Marxist conflict theory? They're doing exactly what the playbook says. Saul Alinsky. There you go. That's all he's doing. He gets up there and talks to our military. Now, look at the people in the background. You see a lot of brown faces right there? Whole bunch of white guys behind him. He's like, we're strong because of diversity and women and stuff. Looking as evil as he could be. He should be able to like, 999. We will make sure the Jews, no more Jews, everyone should be blonde hair and blue-eyed. Heil Hitler. Third Reich. That's what he looks like he should be doing right there. That big old mouth of his wide open.
Why we're who we are. That's why we'll never give up. That's why.
Why is he so angry about this? What the
he's evil.
Is wrong with him?
Evil is
I
angry.
applied to the Naval Academy, and I was picked by senator. There's two ways senators can pick. They can pick individually, or they can name 10 people and let the academy choose. I was a relatively good football player, so I had a shot.
Now, but
one time I jumped over the moon. The cow wanted to do it, and I said, you sit down over there, cow. You just dropped a litter. So I'm going to go ahead and Joe's going to do it. So when I was jumping over the moon, I landed in Soweto, where I ran into Nelson Mandela, and I said, hey, Nelsie, I'm coming to get you, bud. Hang on. Busted him out. And at that point, we went off to Peter Pan land, where I met Corn Pop. He was waiting on me with a switchblade. No, wait. Was it a switchblade or a razor blade? Some type of blade. Blade of grass. Yep, there it is. Almost cut my ass with a blade of grass. And I said, watch, Corn Pop. You're still up to your old tricks. Then we sat down and had some chocolate chip together as we sat with Chi. That man's mind is all over the place. Whatever fantasy pops in that head, he's just throwing it out there. But yet we got diligent folks like Don't Run Walk who will fact check Joe on his lies, unlike the media.
Biden has made this claim before, as far back as 2010.
1960, I was a pretty good football player at the University of Delaware, and I was one of the guys that applied to come to this great academy.
However, Biden couldn't have been playing football at the University of Delaware in 1960.
Why not?
Because he was still in high school and didn't graduate until 1961.
Look at all them rumors around me every day. Nobody's checking this dude.
And a fellow named J. Caleb Boggs considered me, and
according to reporting by the New York Post, there is no record of Biden applying to the Naval Academy. There is no record of Senator Boggs submitting his name.
What?
Nor did Joe Biden mention the Naval Academy in any of his memoirs.
Well, why would he just get up there and lie like this, y'all? Unnecessary lies. I told you. We had a buddy growing up. He lied for nothing. There are some lies you can almost understand why you lie. You know. I mean, if you think there's going to be some consequences, most humans' first inclination is to lie. You know, I had a kid pull a fire alarm one time. We saw it on video. He had the stuff on the hands. And I brought him in off. Hey, man, did you pull the fire alarm? No. I didn't expect him to say, I sure did. I absolutely pulled it just like this. I assume like this dude's trying to stay out of being suspended and have some charges pressed against him for pulling the alarm. I can understand that. But when you just lie for nothing, one time my boy said, man, you know what, man? You know no, he said, we said, hey, did you go out of town for the summer? Yeah, man, I was about to, man. We like, well, what happened? All right. So anyway, man, right? I get on the 747, right? And we about to take off, right? So we had just took off and we was in the air and I realized, man, dang, I had my dad's walkie-talkie wristwatch on. So I asked the pilot, man, I got to get my wristwatch back to my pops. Man, can you turn it around? And they turned it around, dropped me off, man. I couldn't get back on the plane. My buddy Rico looked over at him and said, You're telling me they turned a Boeing 747 around for your dad's walkie-talkie wristwatch? They would have been like, how about you mail it back to your pops when you get where you're going? These were unnecessary lies. We're going, you didn't have to lie to us. Just say I didn't go. That would have been fine. Joe's that guy. He's the guy that's like, I'm going to lie for nothing just to try to make myself seem grandiose. seem more diverse, more relatable, more accomplished, all of that. So he's lying about his football career and joining the Navy or something?
Why? Because it never happened.
I was appointed to the Academy in 1965.
But that's not true either. Because the year he cited, 1965, is the same year he graduated from the University of Delaware. And the Academy does not offer graduate degrees.
More lies.
The guy named Steve Dunning from my class was also nominated. Drove up, was about 7.
Now, wait a minute. Hopefully this is a real Steve, not like Corn Pop and all the other people he talked about.
In the morning, we were going to drive down to Annapolis, and I had just heard the night before they had a halfback named Joe Bellino, won the Heisman Trophy, and a quarterback named Roger Staubach. I went to Delaware.
The New York Post reached out to Biden's friend, Steve Dunning. Dunning graduated high school alongside Biden in 1961 from Delaware's Archmere Academy and was reached on the phone by the Post. And that's great. I'm sure that Biden's old pal Steve will verify Joe's versions of events and clear everything up. The retired marketing executive said he recalled that period of time pretty well, but declined to comment on Biden's story. Read between the lines, guys. It never happened.
Dun, 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 dun. He's evil. This man lies for nothing. Now, if he gets out there and he lies to people over stuff that doesn't even matter. My grandpa, he won the Purple Heart. And when I went to pin it on him, he said, Joey, they died, Joey. Then the next week is somebody else who did the same thing. If this man is willing to get out there and lie about stuff that you say, that's an unnecessary lie, man. Unnecessary. You don't even have to tell that one. You don't think this man will get out there and lie to you about, I didn't know nothing about my son's doings. His business partners. Didn't know nothing. You don't think that man will get out there and say, Tara Reid who? Never met her. I don't know why she's accusing me of stuff. You don't think that man would get out there and say, Michael Flynn didn't even know he was under investigation. All of these are real lies that impacted folks' lives. And yet he's out there telling stupid lies. That it's just like, dude, if you weren't good at football, just don't make it up. If you didn't get drafted and put into the Naval Academy, don't just get out there and make unnecessary lies. Because if you're willing to lie about stuff that don't matter, then that means it's super easy for you to lie about the big stuff, which puts you in the category of a sociopath, a full-blown, evil, corrupt, stinking liar that can't be trusted about nothing. And I mean nothing. I can't think of too many things that came out of this dude's mouth that was not a lie. And these lies go back to the first 2 times this dude ran, had to drop out because of what? Lies. And folks overlooked that and went right after like, click it. Yeah, I'd rather get him than vote in the guy who keeps it 100% real and says our politicians are dumb, our border's broken, they're bringing drugs, they're bringing murder, you know. Some of them are good people, I assume, but yeah, that's too real for folks. They don't like that type of truth. Yeah, they don't like that right there. They rather that bum up there lying about stuff. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. I had to go ahead and expose that garbage. Now, I hope y'all have a great weekend. I hope tomorrow is even better. Start that Monday off the right way. Hit that like button. Share my videos. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter. Check out my podcast. The links are below. If you want to support the channel, links are also below. You can just go ahead, click on my Cash App, my PayPal. There's a billion, quadrillion, billion, zillionaire out there. You're welcome to go ahead and shoot me a gazillion, trillion, $1 billion too. So I want to say thanks to all of those who like and share my videos and all that good stuff. Be looking for some short clips from the last several of our live streams. I'll be uploading some tonight, and subscribe to the other channel just in case they try to make me unexist after talking about this. They might make me unexist. So see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. Oh, let's get out of here. I got to go get some groceries. All city. Yeah. Take care.